because I have to. For God so loved the world. Good, got to go. But I got my Bible reading in because it's my duty. Be a little late for work. No, don't be late for work. Don't be late for work. I don't want calls. Yeah, I have a guy here that says he was late for work because you told him to stay home and read his Bible. No. Roll on out a minute or two early. Get a tape. Get the Bible on tape and play it in the car. I think that counts. Well, I'm not sure. We'll probably have a rule about that. God. Devotion. We actually get this pretty easy. That to which we are devoted with virtually unlimited support or attachment. Right out of the book. That to which we are devoted with virtually unlimited support or attachment. You may have heard these other two Latin words, sola fide. Have you heard those words, sola fide? They're pretty famous. Martin Luther was a Catholic. Actually, he was a priest and educator. He lived in Germany. He was studying the book of Romans, and he hit Romans chapter 1 and verse 17. And he came to the conclusion that keeping a list of standardized rules with no loyalty, but simply obligation, required no faith at all. So you know the story, the church at Wittenberg. He goes to the door of the church, nails his 95 questions, his theses, his thoughts. He puts 95 things on there and says, please answer these because I don't think we're doing this right. Martin Luther is credited with beginning the Protestant Reformation, protesting the Catholic Church. That's where that comes from. He wrote sola fide, because they did everything in Latin. He wrote a commentary on the book of Romans. John Wesley was reading that story from the introduction to the book of Romans. He hadn't even opened the book of Romans yet. He was reading at a church called Aldersgate Church. He was reading the story of Martin Luther coming to that conclusion, the just shall live by faith. And John Wesley, who was in the Church of England, and he says, I do this and this and this and this and this out of a sense of obligation, but I do not know loyalty and I do not know devotion. And he writes that as he read the words of Martin Luther, his heart was strangely warmed, and he realized his allegiance. Did he believe in God? Heavens help us. He was a preacher. He had already been a missionary in Georgia to the American Indians. He already understood God, but what he came to believe was he was doing it for the wrong reasons. And he said that kind of faith won't do. Faith alone means more than just simply saying the word faith, because our view is too narrow and they broaden that view. And when you have the word fidelity, sola fide, fidelity means faithfulness. And in Latin, it's the same word. They don't distinguish. Oh, well, faith is over here, faithfulness is over here. You can have faith but not be faithful. Not in Latin, not in Greek, and really and truly, not in English. We do that to excuse our lack of faithfulness. It doesn't have to be a lack of faith. You can say, I believe in God. It just doesn't prompt you. I'm telling you, you don't want that to be your last thing on earth. The definition that I gave you, as I said, came right out of the dictionary, but it is correct for our understanding of faithfulness in English. We're saved by being faithful, not by simply saying we believe in God. We're not saved by the works now. See, this is what people, not of works lest anyone should boast. Oh, not of works lest anyone. We're not saved by being faithful. We're saved by faith that generates faithfulness. Can you not see that? If you simply say, I make a declaration of faith, and fold your arms, Jane, I don't know if I can find it. I shouldn't even go hunting for it. James is going to say something like, never mind. Oh, if any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of God who giveth to all men liberally. And with, James 1:5, and I'm going to read a couple of verses, see if it sounds good. Let him ask in faith without doubting, for he who doubts is like a wave of the sea driven and tossed. For let not that man suppose that he will receive anything from the Lord. If you say you have faith and then doubt, if you say you have faith but it doesn't generate anything, he said, you show me your faith, I'll show you my works. That's what James said. You show me your faith, I'll show you my works. And if you show me faith without works, I'll call your faith dead faith. Woo! What? Oh, I'm sorry, that was the half-brother Jesus, not me. You show me your faith that doesn't have works attached to it, faithfulness, and I'll call your faith dead faith. And I'll show you my faith. You watch my life, and it will line up with faithfulness. Wow. So I got to ask you tonight, just in our Sunday night crowd, I mean, this is the Sunday night crowd. If you guys don't have it, this church is sunk. If the people in this room aren't faithful, wow, what do we got on Sunday morning? You're back on Sunday night. Well, I don't believe you have to go to church on Sunday night. No, I don't either. I don't think you have to go ever. Just say, I believe. That's it. Just say, I believe. You're here probably tonight because you believe it does. That faith is generating something. It's producing something inside you called faithfulness. I'm going to tell you, if I miss a Sunday, I come back, I feel like I hadn't been here in a month. I can miss one Sunday and feel like I've been gone a month. I just see the people in church, I want to start hugging them. I've been gone. I crave being where God's people are. I desire to be around God's people because there's something generating inside of me faithfulness. So here, let's use our other words. You can answer this for yourself, and then you can take this to your unbelieving friends. To what do you give your allegiance? Simple. This is what you say. I'll tell you what, if somebody says, I believe, so I'll tell you what, let me see your checkbook, and I'll tell you what your allegiance, where your allegiance lies. Our allegiance lies at Walmart and Hy-Vee. But about every 7 days, there's going to be a check written to the Church of the Nazarene when we give 10% of our income. Plus, actually, we start at 10. 10% is just a good starting point. And it doesn't matter how many checks are made to Hy-Vee and Walmart and Hy-Vee and Walmart and throw in a Fairway and throw in, not Aldi, they don't take them.